What's good, YouTube? How's it going, guy? God, fucking words out the get-go are fucking hard. If you're new to the channel, see, I got it right off the rip. If you're new to the channel, welcome. So, obviously, like I just said, like if you're new to the channel, welcome. Once I get through with actually making this video, you guys will kind of get more sense of what I'm getting at with it. And then for those that have been here for, you know, a good while, you'll kind of get basically in the sense of the way with this video. You're getting, I would say, after good thoughts about it and everything else, some of y'all might be think I'm freaking crazy, but hey, you know, once you hear me out and everything, it's my own personal want, and I know that it will make me genuinely happy. So, for my own personal happiness and all that, I think that that warrants being, to me, obviously, a good idea. A lot of you out there that watch it, you know, and understand what I'm getting at. And once I explain it, will understand, and you pretty much know me. You know that this is what I've been wanting. So, with that being said, let me roll these windows up, so that way I'm not all freaking windy, because I'd hate to make this and not even know time frame of what it's going to be, and then turn around and listening to it before I go to posting it being windy on you guys. And it's like, I'm not necessarily trying to defeat my purpose of making the video and then it being all windy for you guys. So that should work. We won't go into the discussion of the heating and air of the car. I did make a video the other day of that, but yeah, it was just, I don't know. I was like, you know, screw it. I went ahead and canceled it. So anyhow, that's not even a part remotely even of this video. So for those that had been here for a while, okay, so getting straight to the point here, you guys know I've been talking about obviously living the nomad life. Crazy thing is like I can't remember who I was having a conversation with not too long ago. Not say not too long ago, I would say at least within 6 months. That's not that long ago. Of telling them that you ever had a dream that you've literally thought about doing for, I mean, I'm talking years. For those of you, obviously, again, that's been around here, you know I've sat there and said that I wanted to live the nomad lifestyle for at least 20 years now. But the thing is, like, the older that I'm getting and the closer and closer I'm coming to the dream life that I want to personally live, I'm not trying to get into politics or anything else of that nature, so we will leave that shit to the side, because you guys know I don't fuck with that. But it just seems like the only reason why I even mention of politics is because I know to an extent of the way that why, not necessarily a movement by any means, but to an extent is getting to be not necessarily a more popular type of lifestyle, but to some people, they just simply don't have a fucking choice. Like I said, I'm not getting into the whole politics part, so we'll scratch that part and I'll get to explaining. So, wanting to live nomad lifestyle. I've literally, I know I've told the kiddo and I've told mom, and I'm pretty certain I've mentioned it to Pops even before he passed, that I've always wanted to do that. It's like, I just personally, I don't want to own a home. I want to be able to pretty much get up and move at any given point. Obviously, mind you, depending on, trying to think of how to word this, but you guys I'm sure will understand, but like, there's so many different options. Not to sit there and say nowadays, because pretty much I'm pretty certain like everything I will be mentioning here in a minute has been around since before I was was even thought of. So, and I'm pushing 45, so it's not to sit there and say with new options, because you think about it, there's been RVs out for fucking ages, tents as well, of course, like your pull behind campers, fifth wheels, you know, things of that nature, and then obviously vehicles or, you know, vans. Excuse me. All of that has been around for fucking years. We all know that. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not like necessarily someone who would like to live that lifestyle, like, hey, here's new options. No, that they've been there since before you probably were even thought of. But no, like, this is like, now, like I said, you know, obviously you guys feel free to, you know, leave a comment down there. I mean, that's what they're for. And I love, obviously, you guys know, especially everybody that has been here, you guys know I love having conversations with you, whether, you know, it's the comments here, or I know I've been slacking, my bad, guys, but I have a slight excuse on streaming. Not full on giving myself full on excuse, but I have a little bit of one. But you guys know I love fucking, like, especially like if I'm streaming and I can have that almost like live conversation with you, or some of my actual, I mean, it kind of goes in not necessarily the opposite way, so to speak, but it's like there are, of course, subs here that I also watch your videos, which you should already know. You know, if you watch this video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, considering I was watching you play, I think Far Cry 6 the other night, or actually last night if I'm not mistaken. OG. But no, I absolutely love that. But so I think, like I said, like, I think personally, now, like I said, I know that people, I mean, and I understand, because I think it's just out of the compassion of just the personal safety of another human being, because yes, there are, obviously, we all know that there are still some human beings out there that are decent and do care about others, and it takes literally nothing to no energy to be able to actually just love your fellow fucking human, you know. But no, what I'm getting at with that is the factor, I was, for the longest time, between, honestly, like a U-Haul truck and a camper. To, well, obviously, you camper, I mean, either unless you bought an old one and you want to, like, fucking remodel or some shit, or if you bought a new one, well, fuck, it's new, you shouldn't have to do shit, unless you wanted to do mods to it or whatever. So it's like, you know, but that's why I says, like, I've been racking my brain of just, like, thoughts, like watching YouTube videos, fucking doing research. I mean, just this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and of something that's going to give me not only a shelter, but being safe. Now, that being safe, I know that you guys will probably, you know, give me the comments on, like, what my final decision is, and I get that, because that's a big word, and for what I'm deciding to go with, you guys will catch that and link it together by the time I get there. Excuse me. But sitting there thinking on camper, and I mean, not only just like, because I was going to go with the Coleman 17R. Obviously, you guys can look that up and get, you know, firsthand, you know, look of what I'm talking about. If you don't already have one, or you've seen one, know someone that has one, so on and so forth. I don't have anything against them. I was like die hard, like that was what the fuck I want. And the only thing is, like, there's honestly, there's multiple factors to that of why I decided not to. I don't necessarily want to go into all of them, because I'm not trying to make this video like stupidly long on you guys, but I also feel like in ways it will help, you know, explain to you guys of like why I've made my decision. And that way, I mean, I know I don't have to, but I mean, hell, I'm on here making a video for myself and for you guys, and it's like, I feel like, you know, I shouldn't put certain information out there and not explain of why you know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, you made a video like kind of giving us an idea of what you're wanting to do, but you won't give us the information of why you made said decision. So I want to just like revoke my own wording there. Say for like the 17R. I've been in one like on a actually Camping World lot. Obviously didn't buy. Dude, just the amount of shit. I mean, no, don't get me wrong on this either. Anything that you so choose to do so or live this lifestyle with, everything is going to have its pros and cons. That's just, of course, another part of life. It's like, it is what it is. But no, it's just like, okay, the camper. I was like die hard thinking, oh shit, I hope I didn't like make those are fresh ass white marks. Or the, well, they are white marks, but the crosswalk fucking big ass, yeah, they're definitely in the middle of painting that shit. So I hope I didn't, you know how like when they were painting the fresh yellow and dotted lines on the road, and it's like, you know, you're not trying to be the first dumbass that fucking runs through the paint. Yeah, I didn't have any fucking choice, man. There was like literally no way around that shit. So I tried to make sure that that big ass line was like kind of dead center with the car, so I could potentially just roll over top of it. Are you gonna give me enough? I think so. Hope so. That is definitely not the greatest way to fucking park a big ass fucking 18-wheeler guy. I mean, use a little bit of a fucking brain cell. I mean, that's already not that much of a room. Sorry guys, I don't give a fuck how it is. If I'm being a dumbass, I'm gonna call myself out on it. If anybody else is, well, yeah, you already get the gist on that. So, and the factor is, like, even when I used to work at AutoZone, that's a small ass little it's almost like literally a fucking alleyway, if you will, and a garage is also like right on the corner of the main street and the alleyway, if you will, and it's not that big. And when you have that big ass fucking hold on, I feel like I'm not even okay. I didn't feel like I was backed up enough. There we go. So yeah, guys, if you didn't already notice, it's going to be a long video. So most likely you're not even going to get to see this until later on tonight when I get home and my signal is a bit stronger. So actually, since we're here, we're going to go in. As soon as I make this, we're going to do my daily, at least an hour. I told myself, I'm not trying to scroll moment from talking what I'm talking about. But I did tell myself I'm going to give myself an hour each day before I go out dashing. I'm going to go to Goodwill solely for the eBay store. Or if I see something that I personally want, then obviously myself. But I'm going to give myself a daily hour Goodwill trip. But so the camper, and don't get it twisted on this part either. I'm not afraid to do it. I'm not afraid to learn how to do it. But I've never pulled anything. Like, as far as I'm aware, anything. So, I mean, obviously, you gotta start somewhere. I mean, people that's been, you know, semi-drivers or pulling, like, just a basic regular-ass trailer behind your truck, van, whatever it is. I've just never done it. And, it would be something, not, like I said, you know, if down the road, if I so happen to choose to go into, like, a pull-behind camper or something of that nature, obviously, I'll learn how to, you know, go about pulling it, backing up, you know, so on and so forth. But now, like I said, I mean, I've thought about this on multiple angles, and I'm sure that there's probably even, you know, situations or ideas that I haven't even thought of that I wouldn't think that would even involve within that situation. But say like the camper, okay, is like, you're driving down the highway or whatever, you're basically on two wheels, potentially four or whatever. Obviously your vehicle, I would about imagine you're pulling at least with a four-wheel vehicle. I don't even think it would even be feasible to pull anything like on a motorcycle or anything else of that nature, because I would fucking highly doubt it. I'm far from a mechanic or anything else of that nature, but I don't know why that thought even popped in my head. It's like, dude, you might be able to pull a fucking radio flyer or some shit with a bike, but I don't think anything else is really going to get pulled, let alone a fucking a camper. But no, it's just like going down the highways. Like, I've seen videos. Now, granted, you know, it could be reckless driving, it could be wind, it could be a combination, but it's like I've seen so many campers fucking, you know, just like flipping to the side or whatever. And I mean, like I said, that could be a majority, you know, or that could be that could be a few different things. Again, I have never done this, so I'm not necessarily trying to judge, so to speak, on that, but I'm just like in my head, like putting all these factors together. It's like I'm good on that. Let's see here. What was it? That now, by all means, you guys got your opinions and all that shit. So I'm gonna tell you right now, you guys can call me a cheap ass or whatever. I am above and beyond more than okay with that, because yes, I am. When it comes to certain things, I will be a cheap bitch all day long. I will fucking own that shit. I don't want to fucking have to pay insurance for my shit. So, I mean, now, granted, yes, like, say if I got the camper or something like that, it would be insured for a multitude of fucking reasons, which I'm sure that you guys could obviously understand why. But and another thing, it might make me sound lazy. Don't fucking care. I don't want to fuck around with maintenance on it. I'm sure there's probably may not be a whole lot. Again, never owned one, nothing else of that nature. But I just, in the fucking long run, I want to live basically, literally in the fucking woods, as simple as I fucking can. And granted, I know I've said it in other videos before, pretty much like, I would say like my two most luxurious items, if you will, because I mean, technically, I wouldn't even consider myself to be glamping. I'm going to be literally paying by the month to live in the woods. So to me, glamping is completely out of the situation, considering I'm not just doing that shit for, you know, a weekend or two. I will be living in the fucking woods. So, you know, glamping, living, however you want to, you know, put it or whatever. But I would say between internet and my PS5, and solely for those two, because that's one thing well, obviously playing online, you guys obviously know you gotta have the internet for that, but I love fucking gaming, which obviously on the channel you guys know, and plus you guys sit there and watch me play, so on and so forth. You guys are going to be watching, and of course I'm going to get a camera and all that shit, but that's neither here nor there. You guys watch me stream, so here before too long, you guys are going to be, whenever you're watching me, you're literally going to be watching me as I'm in my fucking tent in the woods, living happy and peacefully. So yes, obviously there I kind of gave you what my final decision was, but I'll explain it to you here in just a minute of what I'm choosing to go with. So like the camper, like I was sitting there saying, it's like, you know, you got your maintenance, you got your insurance. Between all models, now not necessarily saying older ones, because not saying everything that is older is built better and has better quality, because we all know that that's not always the case, but for the most part we all know it is, for the most part, not all. Because I've seen some like fucking campers from fucking like the 60s to the 80s or even the 90s, and they're, I mean, of course they've been taken care of and all that shit, but they're fucking damn near mint. And it's like, but like I said, people take care of them and all that, but it's also older to where at some given point, obviously in its life, it was built with good quality parts and quality craftsmanship. That sounds right. You guys get the gist. But they're just built better, and it's like, even from like being on Facebook and shit and like multiple pages. Like I said, I've never owned these. So I'm taking literally the wording from actual owners as like basically my research. I mean, it does help within the research of it. And it's just, I don't know. I've personally, even since being a kid, and not like I say, I'm not fucking knocking this, so please do not take it as I'm doing that, because I'm not. Or at least I'm not trying to, because believe me, it was a thought in my head to do the 17R and shit, and be camping in a camper. Regardless of the way that you look at it, or the way ever you want to, even if you just want to say fuck it and throw a damn sleeping bag on the ground, bro, you're camping. It just depends on what form of camping you want to do. But no, just after I thought about it, it's just like, I feel like it's going to obviously cost me more, throughout the time of owning it. Of, like I said, the insurance was, like I said, I would do the insurance for the factor if it got wrecked, hail damage. There's so many factors that could be within that to needing insurance. And it's like, say if it fucking got totaled or something, that's my home. I need insurance to fucking not recover it, replace it. So yes, that would be why that would be the number one reason why I would have insurance for it. But I was like, after I thought about it, I was like, I'm good. I just, the multitude, like I said, the older ones really haven't heard any issues, unless it's been like, just sat there, over time, and someone hasn't tended to it. Then yeah, things tend to have an issue. But like water damage, all that shit, and it's like, you think about it, like, if you don't catch that water damage and it turns into mold and shit, I'm not no fucking doctor, but I'm pretty certain it's not healthy to fucking inhale excuse me, mold and shit. I'm pretty fucking certain it's not. So I was like, no, I'm good on that shit. And I mean, like I said, yes, it takes maintenance. Oh, shit, excuse me, all this and that. I fully get that. I just don't want to fuck with it. I'm being real with you guys. And then I thought about, of course, like the U-Haul. Still, insurance, because it's a vehicle. And then you got to put, technically, I was liking the U-Haul idea because I can be original and making it my own design. Obviously, on YouTube, I've watched other videos, and of course, if that tickles your fancy by any means, of course, you can look it up on there. There's plenty. But like, mainly the whole point of what I'm getting at is like, camper, no. U-Haul, no. Because, like I said, I'm trying to live as cheaply and as free as possible. So, insurance, obviously once, either one of them are paid for, of course it's paid for. But you gotta have tags. You gotta have insurance. You guys are probably like, this dude's fucking being silly and just, kind of, goofy all at the same time and everything. I know silly and goofy is the same fucking shit. But like I said, I don't think I could really literally explain myself any literal other than saying, like, if I'm out there in the woods and I have I guess the TV, PlayStation, and internet kind of wraps it's literally the three of them work together to do what I need to do, obviously. So that would be my three luxury items, if you will. But being out there in the fucking woods, being able to chill by my fucking self, and like most likely throughout the week, no one being around, maybe a handful. Oh my god, just the peace in my head of thinking that. I have actually camped in a year throughout the week, and it was fucking excellent. I think that literally on my side of the campground, including myself, there may have been 5 people, maybe, and that was so wonderful. Obviously on the weekends it's going to get a little bit busier because, of course, people enjoy going camping. So, and I understand, I get that, go out and do it whenever you can and be happy with it. I'm just going to be fucking living that lifestyle, and I've been looking forward to doing this for a long time. So no camper, no U-Haul. The van, yes. I have actually thought about Man, that shit's like fucking glaring right off the middle pillar of you know where the front and back window is, and that sun is just like right on that middle pillar, and it's like I'm like literally almost in a direct spotlight of that shit. So that's why I'm kind of laying the back here. The van. So yes, I'm actually now see this is where I was like I'm kind of like almost combining two, if you will, into one. So I thought about, okay, I'll get to the point of, like I was talking about the van, but okay, let's go to what I'm choosing to do. Also, schoolie was on there, but also insurance, maintenance, all that shit. That was one of the high contenders right there, because I just thought that would be dope as shit to live in a bus, but literally from almost everybody that I've read not reports, but comments and such, is they're pretty much a fucking money pit. And I mean, this is a multitude of people, but I mean, you think about it also, if you fucking live in that, you're not paying a mortgage to anybody, so technically your mortgage is just going into your consistent maintaining, and it's your fucking home. I mean, so like I'm saying, I was like, not at least that I'm not knocking it, but I was like, I don't know. So I went with the thought, I was actually at first I was wanting to go with an inflatable tent, and I'm still not full on putting that off the burner, because also with doing research and all that, those things they're definitely upping their game with the technology in it and all that shit as well. But no, I was sitting there looking, and I just so happened to run past this dude. In all honesty, I can't even remember his name, or I would at least give him a shout out. If anything, like I can kind of tell you the guy's, the name of the guy's, the video, not the name of his channel, since I can't remember that. Excuse me. But no, he was sitting there saying like it was, I think the literal caption like in the middle of this video is Walmart's best hot tent, if I'm not mistaken. But it's fucking awesome. Like, so he even said in the video that from the literal point of having the box on the ground, opening the box, putting all the poles together, and completely lifting it and being in the done stage, it's 15 minutes. One dude. So it's like 15 fucking minutes and I can have my crib fucking popped up. Okay. But the thing is, like, it's 4-season. It is technically 2 rooms, because I'm pretty certain it has a divider. Even if it does, I don't give a shit. It'll be one big ass room. Obviously, I'm going to make it however I want. And then the front of it is like kind of a, I don't know, I would say like on your house. Excuse me. How I would say on your house, like you, like, obviously not all houses have these either, but say you walk in, you have a mudroom or a coat room, something of that nature. Well, at the entrance, excuse me, at the entrance of the tent, it's kind of like a mudroom, if you will. I didn't necessarily, it might have been in an angle in the video, but I didn't see the front of it, so I don't know if it does have, I would about imagine it still has the same material as the rest of the tent does for the flooring of it. I just don't think I've seen it, so I can't really speak upon that. But like right there, I would pretty much have like probably my kitchen right there. But the thing is like I'm saying, is like it's got the 2 rooms and then kind of the 3rd room, if you will. I'd have that set up, and then it's 4-season. It has a stove jack, so of course in the wintertime I can literally have a wood burning stove in my tent and not worry about the fucking weather outside. Waterproof. Let's see here. I don't think I actually seen in the video doing like any like wind test, but for tents like that, and I even went straight to Walmart, considering that the dude said that, you know, it was from Walmart. And all the now I know sometimes from what I've heard, like, sometimes they can just have like bots making the fuck you want to call it, comments or reviews, like, yeah. But even one dude said that like they had, I wanted to say it was like 70, and I mean, I know fucking 70 is getting it, especially for a wind. But it was either between 50 and 70. I know that's a little bit of a gap. I mean, it's 20, but still, 50 is a pretty decent win. But said like it didn't even fucking phase it. Like it after like basically the tent after like it was not even like nothing was going on outside. It was just a like right here like it is a clear, pleasant, calm day. And it's just like all that shit has sold me, and it's like considering the factor that I can get and have my home for less than, even with the fucking 5-year warranty on it, for less than $500, why not? My home is paid for. It's sturdy. I can live in it with no issues. And of course, obviously, once I go to get it, you guys will get the, I probably will, like, in the front yard or something. Considering we have dogs, I won't be setting it up in the backyard. Unless I can actually just, like, put the doggy door in and leave them in the house for, just long enough to get it set up and shit for you guys to, show it to you and everything else, which I very well may do, especially once I get my, I do plan on still getting that tripod to, especially make the garage video, but that's obviously a different video. But yeah, I was planning on actually getting it and then doing a complete setup for you guys. And then, I mean, in all honesty, especially since I'll be at the house, I will probably either have the kiddo or the kiddo's boyfriend, or both of them, help me just to make it even that much quicker. So, like, I don't drag out that video like I'm dragging this one out. I am sorry about that. But I'm just trying to explain to you guys, because, I mean, like I said, I know a lot of you out there that do watch me on the normal, and you guys are aware I've been, doing my research on, finding something I want to start, living in and traveling in. So, yes, I'm pretty certain that. And it's the Ozark, because, like I said, you guys can either look up his video or simply look up on Walmart. It's the Ozark 10-person 4-season hot tent. It's like green. It's almost like I'd say like a hunter green, maybe slightly darker, and I almost want to say like a burnt orange. Now, and don't get me wrong on that, I know everybody has their preferences. If it was me, and if I could actually choose it, which I don't think something of that nature, since they mass produce them. I don't know, then again, I might be able to actually just call Ozark themselves and do that, but I'm not getting that fucking technical with it. I don't get that much of a shit. Of just changing the, sorry, I had itched back a little bit. Like I said, though, I'm not that stressed about the fucking color. I just want something that's going to be dependable, to where I can move in and be comfortable living. Obviously, like I said, I want to live as cheaply and as freely as possible. Living in a campground, obviously, I got to pay for that. But there's no issue with that. You have literally your power and your water right there. So, and actually, my local woods, I didn't call them, but I got on their website, and it's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's like $3 or $3.50 a month. Yes, you heard me correctly, $3 to $3.50 a month for an electric site. Electric and water. Yes, fucking please, say less. So, once I get that, like I said, we'll get it set up and everything else, so you guys can see, obviously, the setup and everything else, and we'll go through it, and you guys can see, obviously, the inside as well. So, okay, you guys got what I've pretty much got my mind set on. It's only going to take me maybe a week, and we'll be getting it. I'm just saying in general, of a week to be able to get the money to do it. I have a few other things I have to tend to before getting that, but I would say give me 2 or 3 months at most, get my bills caught up and everything else that I need to tend to, and then we're getting the tent. I've also thought about like doing a cargo or a minivan, and that way uh, I can take out everything in the back, like all the seats, to where I can pretty much put in, say, like a twin size bed, or possibly maybe even if it'll fit a full size. Because I thought, I was like, say if I got a month or two that I don't want to stay in a campground and I just want to park randomly anywhere that obviously would be allowed, and camp, not pulling shit out of the van or anything else, just literally just camping in the van where you can't tell that, you know, somebody's chilling in their van or whatever, and doing something of that nature. So that way I had the two kind of brought together, because, like, say, like, you're out in the middle of the desert or something and there's a parking lot and you can sit there and fucking chill. I'm not trying to obviously pop out the tent and set up fucking house right there. It could be, that's also another thing, like, you guys, like, you know, like the enclosed trailers. I don't know what else they're called besides the trailer. I'm sure that there's a more of a term to it, but it's like, you know, like the U-Haul ones, for example, something like that. That's how I plan on actually, because once you guys see everything set up, I'm sure that the comments like, dude, how the hell do you, you know, store all that shit? Giving you already the answer before that even takes place. So it's like, I want to get one of those. So say I got the van, I can get it, like, I'll even plan on putting, like, mounting up a TV. And if anything, I might even have a separate fob in there, just for the factor if I'm not camping in the tent and we're van life, van camping, I can still play and stream in the van as well. So I'll technically kind of have two set up. So, but I'm just trying to think and having options, not just setting myself like, well, I gotta live in campgrounds for the rest of my life. Not to say that I wouldn't mind to, because I know that shit's gotta be way more peaceful than being out here. But yes, so we're going to do the tent. Like I said, obviously feel free to, you know, look it up and everything else, or check out Dude's video. I'm sure that he would, you know, be grateful for, you know, the extra view. I wish I freaking knew his name and everything else, like that way I'd be able to directly send it to you, or even freaking tag him down in the description. But it is what it is. But yes, so tent. Then yes, I plan on getting like one of those little trailers, because that's where I'm going to be putting literally everything that will be in the tent into. So therefore, that will be, of course, my transportation storage, if you will. And then, of course, the tent. So like, if we're, say, like, I roll up to, you know, in a different state, I roll up through these woods and like, dude, this is absolutely beautiful. And I was like, staying there for a month or two, and like, I really want to stay here for, you know, longer. Obviously I can, you know, keep on paying that monthly or however that you have it set up. So that's what I'm thinking. So it's like, you know, that way I had the van, I could, you know, use that just as well. And of course I'll obviously have that, which you guys know I do dash, which after I go in here, after I make this video, go into Goodwill to do a little look-see and then pop back out here to start dashing. You guys know I dash, so that's what also the van will be. I can dash when I'm not streaming, and that way I can make, obviously, my money of dashing to pay for my bills and such. And then of course I got the tent, so it's like I had two forms of home, if you will, and then of course with the trailer will be my mobile storage. So I'm trying to use the old thinker, okay? And yeah, that's a nice ass bowl homeboy just came out with. That's one thing I love about fucking Goodwill. You never know what the fuck you're going to find. I mean, it's literally like a fucking indoor yard sale. I used to work at the thrift store years ago. They're the same fucking thing, just different names. You guys know that. And that's the only thing is, it's an indoor yard sale. I mean, you can't explain that any bit better. Considering the factor, like, usually in the summer, if somebody is, you know, you can't sell all your shit in the yard sale, guess who you fucking give it off to? You either throw that shit away or you send it to Goodwill. Hence, indoor yard sale. I think that's it, though, guys. So, like, I don't sit here and, you know, take up your entire fucking evening. So, explaining we're getting the van. At least the van. I don't think, if anything, potentially any bit different, because just for the factor, like, if we do some, you know, van camping and shit, I want to have some room. So like if I do the cargo van or whatever, like I said, it'll be obviously lighter because all the fucking seats will be taken out. It won't be all that fancy. I mean, I'll just literally mount up a TV in there. It'll pretty much have like a mattress. How many times you gotta disarm your truck while you're walking around it, dude? I don't understand that shit. Teach their own. So yeah, like, you know, the van, it will, in time, I'll probably, even like once I move out into the woods and everything, like over time, I'll start working on, you know, getting it built with, you know, a bed, and, cause like, it won't have to be anything, cause like I said, also I'll have that fucking trailer behind me, so only thing necessarily I'll need in there is the mattress, set up a TV, and mount a 5. It can be really, really, really fucking simple, and I plan on doing that because I try to be as simple as I can be. So with that, the trailer, of course, as I'm traveling, the tent is obviously going to be in the trailer. So I thought about being minimalistic in ways as can be. So van, trailer, and then once, say we're at the campground, obviously van's still going to be there, trailer's still going to be there. You got the tent full blown out like a house. All your shit is in the trailer. So it's like the two things are minimal to where, until you get to the campground, to where it goes blah, blah, blah. You get to the campground and it's vehicle, trailer, home, all the shit out of the trailer into the home. But yes, like I said, once give me a few weeks here, we'll get the tent. We will do a video on unboxing and putting the tent up. And with that being said, I will the base anchors, or whatever you want to call them, to hold the tent down, I will be ordering some heavy duty pins, or whatever you call them, to hold the tent down, because I'm not going to go off those little base we're not gonna rock that. I'm gonna be living in this bitch, so I'm gonna make sure that my shit is tacked down and held to the ground as much as feasibly possible. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You guys know I'm looking more towards getting like a van. A, I can dash in it. B, I can also live and stay in it. The trailer for everything of all my belongings, including my other home, and then of course the tent. So those three, I'm pretty certain that I'm pretty dead set on those. And then regardless, here in a few weeks, once I get the tent, like I said, we'll have a separate video, and hopefully by then as well, I'll actually have the tripod, and I'll do the unboxing of the tripod first. And then I'm also going to get one of those little, it's like a plug-in. I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of YouTube videos where like they'll have a little microphone or whatever attached to the hat or to the shirt or whatever. So that way, if I'm, far from the phone, obviously, you guys can hear me. So it's not like, hey, asshole, we can't fucking hear you. So, yeah, I guess with that being said, guys, you got the gist of what else they're wanting to talk about. Sorry it took for fucking ever, because this is a long-ass video. But I got out what I needed to get out, and I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to go into Goodwill. Depending on what's up in here, I may not even do my hour. And then after that, we're dashing. So, that being said, you guys have a fantastic Wednesday. And we'll see you later. Thanks for your time.